In this screencast, I'm going to demonstrate two methods for controlling a parameter in multiple plugin instances using a single hardware control. We'll start with 3 audio tracks. We're going to place a gain plugin on each track for screen real estate purposes. Open all 3 of these up here. This first method, by the way, does not currently work in Logic 9.1.1. Hopefully on the next update, Apple will fix that bug. Once we have our gain plugins arranged, we can open up our environment window, and we will want to cable our tracks serially, the 3 audio tracks. So we'll select them and press Ctrl S on our keyboard, and that will connect track 1 to track 2 to track 3. And that's the same as going to the options menu and selecting cable serially. Now that gives us our basic functionality. We can move the gain parameter on track 1 and it controls tracks 2 and 3. Now that that's working, if we go to our controller assignments window, that's Command L on your keyboard, we can learn a control to control that gain parameter. Since it was moved last, it's selected for us, and all we should have to do is move the control that we would like to assign on our hardware controller. And as you can see, it's working and it's learned. This will also work for buttons. We can set the phase invert switch to a button, and once it's learned, it will start to toggle. Now this will depend on your MIDI settings on your keyboard, whether or not you're set up correctly to control this with the controller types. Let me just reset here. And I will show you method 2. We'll need a few more elements in the environment window to accomplish this. First, we will start by making a monitor. This will be used to tell which plugin parameters are sending MIDI messages and what messages they're sending. We'll also create a fader. Let's make it a wide fader and drag it down here to the bottom. This will be our actual control to control our parameter. So we'll want to connect the first output to audio track 1, second output to audio track 2, and third output to track 3. And we will want to connect our output of audio track 1 to our monitor so we can tell which parameter, which message our parameters are sending, so we can assign it to the fader down there. So if we modify the gain slider on the gain plugin on track 1, you'll notice that it's sending a fader message on channel 2 and it's controller 4. The lowest value is 0, as you can see there, and the highest value is 126. So it's using the full MIDI value range. That's good. Some parameters only use up to value 100, and you would want to change that in these settings over here. So we've got an output section. This is where you set the message that you want your fader to send. So we're going to set fader as our type, channel will be 2, and the controller will be 4. As you can see, our fader now controls our gain slider for all 3 plugins. The association with the hardware control is a little different here, so we will create a new physical input. Drag it down here out of the way, and you can select the sum. This right here shows that we've already got an output going somewhere else in our environment, and that will be all MIDI inputs to your computer. You can alternatively select another input from a specific controller. We'll just select sum for simplicity's sake now. And when you do connect the sum, it will undo the other connection. You will lose connection to your MIDI track inputs in your DAW. So now if we move our fader, it will go through our MIDI signal path, and we can see that it's a control message on channel 1 and it's control 102. So if we go down to our fader control in our environment, right underneath the output section is an input section. And we will make sure it's set to control, and it will be control 102, and it's on channel 1. That's already set. So now if we move our fader, we have control of our gain plugin.